Okay, I'm here with Izzy Alkafas. We are going to do the playing game prediction segment for tonight's playing games in Bloomington South, beginning at 7 o'clock. Let's start with the Lakers versus the Blue Chips, 13 versus 20. Who do you have in this game, by how much, and why?
This is actually going to be an interesting game. Two very contrasting styles. The Blue Chips play very slow, and the Lakers play very up-tempo. Looking at it with the way things are, Briggs and Thompson against Ratty and DQ is actually going to be the deciding factor in this game. I don't think Anthony Thompson can guard Kyle Ratty because I don't think anybody can guard Kyle Ratty, really. And then when you go to the guards, just Noe Mendez is going to have his way with Jeremy Bachman. And I think the Lakers will score 90, 95 points to the Blue Chips 75. Sam Halverson needs to have a monster game for the Chips to have a chance. And the way that he plays, it's so erratic, I just can't put my money on him. So I'd probably say Lakers by 17.
Okay, the next matchup, number 14-seeded Bulls North versus everyone's favorite team, the 19-seeded Durant Jemima. I'm actually kind of hoping that they can finagle their way into the Final Four and shut everybody in the Players Committee up. But what's your prediction for this game?
Well, here's the interesting thing. It's played, the advantage goes to Durant Jemima on one thing and one thing only. The game is played Wednesday in Bloomington. Tuesday in Bloomington. Mm-hmm. The Bulls, a lot of friendly teams struggle to get teams over to Bloomington. So that's going to be a big advantage. Other than that, they have the rest. Kevin Chase is a beast. And in the end of the day, Durant Jemima are still kids. They're still young. They're not men. And Kevin Chase is a man. You look at Drew Martin. He's a big guy. Kelsey is going to be a tough guard for any of the Durant Jemima guards. And Alex Michaels is great, but the Bulls should be able to slow him down at the very least. And I just don't see Durant Jemima having enough to compete with the Bulls. And I think the Bulls will have historically let teams in, and they struggled in the playoffs. But I just can't see them getting past. I'd say the Bulls by, I think they'll let them in the second half for a little bit, but I'm still going to say Bulls by 15.
Okay, 15-seeded Bulls South versus the 18-seeded Noisy Withdrawal.
Bulls South, Noisy Withdrawal. This is a game I find very intriguing. Once again, Bulls South, I know they're a Bloomington team, but Rod has had attendance issues on game nights that he's not used to playing in. Zhao also. What time is the game?
That game is at 8 o'clock, yes.
Okay. So I think they might be able to get Zhao at the game. Noisy also has huge problems getting guys over. And purely based on that fact, I think the Bulls South will win. I have no idea who's going to show up for Noisy. They need Hamill. They need Springer. They need Meade. Absolutely. They need those three guys to show up. And tonight, in a game that potentially could have mattered, Meade and Springer were both gone. So I can't put any stock into those guys. And when you throw Sonny, Zhao, Rod, and Romero onto the court and you don't have a full roster, you just can't keep up with them on the perimeter. So I'm going to say Bulls South, and I actually think it's going to be a rout, assuming I'm going to actually predict that Noisy shows up with 5 guys, and I think they miss a key piece. I think maybe Springer and Meade won't be there, and I'm going to say Bulls by 24.
Okay, last game of the night. The number 16-seeded Cush Club from Fridley versus the number 17-seeded Pelicans from Bloomington South.
Okay, I'm excited for this game. I'm excited to see how Hoag's going to react to these guys. I mean, there might be an elbow or two being thrown around. He'll get under their skin. They'll get under his skin. Joe and Ryan need to be there for the Pelicans because they need an advantage on the glass. Now, Cush Club will run out on them, and the only person that can actually keep up with them is Greg Wells. Really, I guess Lehman can keep up with him. Zach, if he shows up, he can probably keep up with him for a little bit. The X factor in this game is Greg Wells. If he decides to play with Cush Club, the rest of the Pelicans can't keep up with that style of play. So it's basically be Greg Wells against the entire Cush Club roster. And based on history, he tends to play to the opposition. If the opposition plays frantic, I expect Greg Wells to play frantically. I think Zach will get isolated out of this game because of Greg Wells' dominating of the ball. So I'm going to say that the Cush Club lead most of the way. They let the Pelicans in because they let every team in. Tonight's an example. They were up 3 or 4 against the Villains with about a minute left, or 2 points, and Kavarian took a fadeaway jumper when they should have just held the ball and waited for free throws, but he didn't. So they'll do things like that to let the Pelicans back in. But I think Cush Club have won a couple close games in the last 3-4 weeks here, and I think they win this game by 6.
All right, Ultimate Hoops Nation, let us know what you think about the video prediction segment. We're coming back tomorrow night, Wednesday night, with the written prediction segment for the Sweet 16 games, and we'll have a written prediction segment for the Elite 8 games as well. But let us know your thoughts. Thank you very much.